I am Jana Bosonko, and this is QTV News, coming to you live from our studios along Caraba Avenue. Thanks for joining us. Here are the main local, international, business and sports news headlines. The TRRC hears more testimony on how ex-President Jammeh manipulated and compromised the impartiality of the judiciary during his tenure. Not everyone wants a desk job. We hear about some young people training to be motorbike mechanics. The Gambia Police Force has issued a statement following the arrest of Kemesing Sane, commonly known as Kex, who claimed to have been kidnapped and dumped in a cemetery. And we hear about a 5-month-old baby in need of urgent overseas treatment. In business news, a Malian delegation visits Pura today to discuss bilateral relations between the Gambia and Mali on petroleum products, among other trade initiatives. In international news, Sierra Leone President Julius Maada Bio opens the ECOWAS Parliament's first 2021 extraordinary session in Freetown. In sports news, in football, Gambia's senior men's team coach gets the perfect present on his birthday, a 5-year contract reward for guiding the team to its maiden AFCON. As Gambian players relax and bask in the joy of qualification, we look at the teams fighting for the few remaining AFCON places. Those were the main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. The former president of the Gambia Bar Association, Sirif Maritambedu, on Monday testified at the Truth Commission about how ex-President Jammeh manipulated the judiciary system during his regime. Babakar C reports.
Sirif Maritambedu told the commission that during the Jawara regime, there was no interference by the government in the work of the judiciary, as President Jawara was a champion of democracy in Africa. However, the witness said things changed drastically when Jammeh took over the country in 1994. The Bar Association was never in agreement with the 1994 coup, and the association wrote a press release condemning it. The witness said when the opening of the legal year was held, Tambedu recalled how many lawyers boycotted the event to avoid Jammeh.
We knew that he was looking forward to coming to attend this function where all the lawyers would gather and he would address us as the guest, or the chief guest of honor.
ñu nag séntu nañ ne jamono jooju mu ngi pare pour ñëw ci jotaay boobu nga xam ne ni dana fa gaaral ay kàddu nga xam ne nii lawyer yëpp ñu ngi toog nga xam ne daal keroog moom sax mooy war a nekk gan ak teraanga gi nga xam ne nii mooy ci jotaay boobu.
Lot of lawyers did not attend.
Lawyer yu bari teewuñu woon.
I recall I was just newly called in the bar, and I also did not attend.
Yes.
I can imagine his disappointment that the lawyers have boycotted this important event.
The witness went further to narrate how Jammeh hated the judiciary and the media in the first few months in office and did all he could to silence some legal practitioners by sacking them.
Like I said, from the onset we condemned the coup, and then coincidentally the leader of the opposition party, the UDP, the main opposition party, UDP, Mr. Hussein Udabo, was a lawyer. And this enraged Jammeh. There was too many arrests of lawyers and dismissal of judicial officers.
On legal practitioners, particularly judges that were referred to as mercenary judges, mainly from Nigeria, this is what lawyer Tambedu has to say.
You see, when these people from foreign countries come to Gambia, they are treated with dignity, with respect. They get a lot of honor here. They usually don't want to lose this. So we saw them as fighting tooth and nail to maintain those privileges, to the extent that they forgot the ethics and the morality behind being a legal practitioner or practicing law.
The witness said the quality of judges went down during Jammeh's era And this led to a situation where many lawyers did not trust the judges because they knew they would be biased. Sheriff Maritambedu said during his tenure as the president of the Gambia Bar Association, it was a tough time for him and his wife.
During my tenure, first of all, I received a threat by SMS on my telephone. I was threatened with my wife that our lives were in danger if we did not stop continuing to support the Commonwealth judges, the judges from the Commonwealth.
The witness went on to speak about the arrest, prosecution, and illegal dismissal of lawyers ranging from Moses Richards, lawyer Bensouda, Justice Jane, Justice Sok, and others, describing it as executives' efforts to stifle the judiciary. On the killing of death row inmates, the witness recalled that some of the victims killed by the state were having some pending appeals at the court. Thus, murder was committed by the executive as no one had the right to kill them. On the historic moment when the witness swore in the current president at the Gambia embassy in Dakar, Sheriff Maritambedu recalled the rough moments of December 2016 when he had to leave the country with his family.
Terrorism. We lived in a constant fear, constant terror. It was not a normal situation. People went about their business, behaved, but you had to be careful. We lived here, even as lawyers in the courts.
The witness ended his testimony by thanking the TRRC for the good job they are doing and advised Gambians to see the TRRC as an eye-opener. Babukar C, QTV News.
The Gambia Police Force has issued a statement following the arrest of Kemaseng Sane, commonly known as Kex, who claimed to have been kidnapped and dumped in a cemetery. The police say they opened a swift investigation following the complaint of alleged kidnapping. Sane is an executive member of the political party DOI. The GPF release says the Crime Investigation Department opened a swift investigation into the circumstances leading to his alleged kidnapping with a view to prosecute anyone found responsible in accordance with the laws. However, investigations revealed that Kemaseng Sane was never kidnapped or abducted by any individual. Sufficient evidence gathered showed that he was not kidnapped and placed in a car as alleged, but instead he spent that very night in his house with a marabout from Senegal whose service he hired. The GPF High Command hereby commends the public for the swift response in providing relevant information useful to the investigation. The release concludes by saying the police is also applying due diligence to help in the investigation. The release ends. Now, learning skills for self-employment can be an advantage since not everyone can work in an office. Our reporter Babukar Sise takes a look at how one mechanic is training young children to follow in his footsteps. Here is Babukar Sise's report.
These kids want to specialize in repairing motorcycles when they grow up. Their boss, Yoro Jallo, says he works with 5 apprentices, 3 of whom are kids brought here by their parents. Being a mechanic, he says, is challenging but lucrative. It is a profitable job because I came here with nothing from Guinea, where I learned the job until I qualified and my boss released me. However, it is not easy and it needs patience. For Jallo, learning a skill is better than what other kids are engaged in. Some parents send their children to be petty traders. That's not learning. Parents should send their children to school or let them learn a trade. Usman Top is a student in grade 5 at Jalamban Lower Basic School in the West Coast region. He explains what he is able to do and his future plans. I can tighten the chain, remove the engine, and fix the protective covers. I can also remove the tires and can ride a motorbike. When I grow up, I want to be a mechanic and a pilot so that I can help my father. Yoro Jallo commended the kids for their dedication, but added that sometimes they are a bit naughty. Sometimes they are stubborn. If someone brings his motorbike and I'm not around, they will just take it and go for a ride. They hurt themselves when they fall or even spoil the bike. Jallo revealed that other customers would pay them less than what they have agreed on to repair their motorbikes. He added that the place he occupies is rented and he pays a monthly fee. The apprentices, he said, are not paid a monthly salary but are given some spending money at the end of each working day. Babkar Sise, QTV News.
From that story by Babakar Sise, we will take a short commercial break. Still to come, we have local, business, international and sports news stories. Do stay tuned.
jëndal sa QCell credit ak sa Q-Money account te doo ci am benn jafe-jafe dugalal xaalis commencé ko $10 si jëm kaw pour bànneexoo service yu leen Q-Money amal ak Q-Money yombalal sa àddina doxantul ci Q-Money agent bu leen gën a jege pour dugal xaalis si sa account wala nga call customer care ci 133 bul fàtte pour raxas sa loxo ak saabu boo leen jëfandikoo ak xaalis Q-Money suñu kalpe ñun ñoo xaala yoon bi ñeneen toppa.
Join the Gambia's fastest growing network and enjoy high-speed 4G LTE. Dial *335# to subscribe to QCell's 4G LTE service. There's no need to swap your SIM. QCell, Senior Boss. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV News and I am Jenna Bosonko. Now, a 5-month-old baby needs overseas treatment for a heart condition. According to her medical reports from the Edward Francis Moore Teaching Hospital, Ajifatu Cham is suffering from a cardiovascular problem. Lole M. Kamara has the rest of that.
Ajifatu Cham is currently suffering from difficulty in breathing, excessive sweating while breastfeeding and coughing. According to her medical reports, treatment for her heart defect is not currently available in the country. Aissatou Sohna, the child's mother, explains her daughter's situation.
2 months.
The sickness began 2 months after birth. It started with coughing and crying. I took her to Bundum Hospital and to Fajara for a scan. They referred us to Banjul, where we were admitted for many days. It was at Edward Francis Moore Teaching Hospital that the doctor recommended she should go for overseas treatment. At this moment, things are hard for us. I am looking for support to help my daughter get the treatment. Her mother further stated that a hospital has already been identified in Dakar where little Ajifatu can be treated. The only constraint for now is the medical bill to be paid. If anyone would like to assist, please contact QTV by writing to news@qtv.gm. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
We wish her a speedy recovery. Now on to some business news. A delegation from Mali's energy regulatory visited Pura today to discuss bilateral relations between the Gambia and Mali on the export of petroleum products, among other initiatives. Abibatu Sise has the rest of that.
The main purpose of the 5-day session is to present and adopt a strategic plan for the 5th Legislature 2020-2024 of the ECOWAS Parliament. The plan, which has been drafted by the administration of the Parliament under the supervision of the Secretary General, is guided by the provisions of the Community Strategy Framework and the ECOWAS Vision. It identifies program areas with themes and priority areas that will systematically assist the Parliament in executing its mandate as defined by the Supplementary Act. Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, Sidi Mohamed Tunis, said the strategic plan will provide direction in decision-making and allocation of resources to enable Parliament to attain its goals. The plan will also allow the Community Parliament to focus on its mandate and priority areas.
In addition, it will serve as a basis for monitoring and evaluating of the performance of Parliament during the tenure of the current legislature. It is our sincere hope that the plan...
Apologies for bringing you the wrong story. Now let's take a look at Abi Batu Sisse's story on a delegation from Mali's energy regulatory body visiting Pura for some bilateral relations.
Welcoming the delegates, Mr. Solo Sima, the acting director of Pura, thanked the Malian delegates, saying this visit will enhance bilateral ties between the Gambia and Mali and also help to harmonize their efforts in trade and energy.
This here visit by ONAP and the rest of the delegation would not only allow us to further strengthen our partnerships at the institutional level,
d'encourager les relations au niveau administratif.
But importantly, it will help us share
Ça va nous aider à partager
our experiences as regulators
nos expériences en tant que régulateurs
and industry actors to harmonize our efforts and standards.
Et les acteurs industriels.
Sima further says that Pura has been involved in the issuance of petroleum re-export license since 2017, and the main country of destination has been Mali.
A significant growth within this segment of the value chain.
L'autorité a vu un développement en ce sens.
With more than 15 re-export licenses issued and counting.
Plus de 50 licences données. Et le Mali.
With considerable volumes.
Avec un volume considérable.
Enhancing trade significantly between the two countries.
Et cela a facilité les choses entre les deux pays.
This can be easily explained through the close fraternal relationship that the Gambia shares with Mali, dating back centuries.
Speaking through an interpreter, the head of the Malian counterparts and director of ONAP, Issa Kondo, thanked Pura for the welcome given to them and went on to explain the purpose of the visit.
Nous sommes une structure qui soutient les opérateurs.
ONAP is a structure that helps the operators.
Chez nous, c'est la libéralisation.
And in our country is the freedom of commerce.
Les opérateurs sont les premiers acteurs.
And they are the most important
L'administration est là pour les appuyer, faciliter leurs activités.
The administration is just here to help the actors.
Pour leur permettre d'approvisionner le pays en toute sécurité.
To enable them to get the resources that we need as a country.
The Malian delegates are expected to be in the Gambia from 29th March to 3rd April 2021. During this period, the delegation will have meetings with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Finance, and GRA Commissioner. The delegation will also visit Gam Petroleum Depot and GRA Mandinari. Reporting for QTV News, I am Abibatu Sise.
On to some sports news. Now, the Gambia Scorpions coach, Tom Sanford, has been given a special birthday gift on his 48th birthday today. The GFF, with support from the Ministry of Youth and Sports, has extended his current contract to another 5 years. Mamadou Gajaga has the rest of that.
As he turns 48 today, the Belgian tactician has been rewarded after guiding the Scorpions to their maiden AFCON tournament. This was announced at a news conference on Monday morning in Kinshasa, hours before Gambia were due to take on DR Congo in their final AFCON Group D qualifier. Tom Sanford's current contract was due to expire in May. Now with the extension, his contract will run till June 2026. Lamin Kaba Abajo, the GFF president, tells us more.
Tom, since we started with him in 2018, really has proven his worth. And I think the whole football family, including the GFF and the government, are satisfied with him. And we have the belief that his continuity gives results. And we feel that we have to give him the opportunity to take the team to the next two AFCON qualifiers, 2023-2025, and the World Cup qualifiers.
Since becoming the coach of the Scorpions in July 2018, Tom has guided his team through 15 matches, winning 6, drawing 5, and losing 4. Among the most prominent opponents were Algeria, against whom he registered 2 draws in the 2019 qualifier. The Desert Foxes went on to win the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations competition, beating Senegal in the final. After the announcement, an elated Tom shared his feelings on working with the Gambia.
The achievements we did the last 3 years, it's achievements of teamwork. It never would have been possible if our president of federation never would have given me in first place confidence to start this job. The impressive input from the ministry the last period helped us to achieve this special moment, this unique moment. A coach can never do it alone. This is an achievement of a whole team of people, everyone within the federation, the public around us, and most of all, the players, because Gambia has a lot of quality players. The reason I came in 2018 to Gambia was they were in a bad period. They had won one game, competitive game in 5 years. But I was convinced. I saw the players who were available, the future players who would be available, and I felt honored to become coach of Gambia. Until today, I feel still honored to become. For me, it's a pleasure, it's an honor to represent the beautiful country, the smiling coast, and I'm the smiling coach of Gambia.
Tom now eyes an even bigger target with the Scorpions in 2026, which is to secure one of the 9 spots available for Africa in an extended World Cup. Bakary Badji, Minister for Youth and Sports, said his ministry is very glad to be part of what he described as marking the end of a very successful tenure and the beginning of another.
We appreciate the work of the Gambia Football Federation and the collaboration that they have been doing in supporting the ministry to foot some of the bills that comes along managing the national team. Of course, like you said, government is very committed to the issues of football in general, but we know that the national team is a priority. And while we might have other competing priorities, our mind is always focused on how do we take responsibility and foot the bills that are associated with managing the state. And that's why all of the investment that we are putting in now is to be able to take our responsibility as a ministry and as a government.
Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News.
Congratulations, Coach. We are still on football as the 2021 AFCON qualifiers reach its final match day with some dramatic decisive matches. QTV's Aliou Cisse takes a look at the standing of countries in the race, which has 5 places remaining to confirm the final 24 teams for Cameroon 2022.
In Group A, both Mali and Guinea-Conakry qualified after Chad is disqualified and Namibia eliminated. In Group B, Burkina Faso guaranteed their spot in next year's finals. South Sudan is eliminated. Uganda 8 points and Malawi 7 points battle for the second group slot. They faced each other in Blantyre, where a draw would have been enough for Uganda to qualify, while Malawi needed a win. Malawi left nothing to chance and beat Uganda 1-0 and so qualify. Group C has Ghana and Sudan qualified for the finals, while Sao Tome and Principe and South Africa are eliminated. Gabon and Gambia qualified in Group D, leaving out DR Congo and Angola. In Group E, Morocco qualified to the finals. Mauritania 6 points, Burundi 5 points, and Central Africa 4 points, battle for the second ticket. Central African Republic hosts Mauritania in Bangui, while Burundi plays Morocco in Rabat. Mauritania qualifies if they win or draw, coupled with Burundi failing to win. Burundi qualifies only if they win, coupled with Mauritania failing to win. Central African Republic qualifies only if they win, coupled with Burundi failing to win. In Group F, Cameroon qualified automatically as host. Cape Verde 7 points, Rwanda 5 points, and Mozambique 4 points are in the race for the second ticket. Mozambique hosts Cape Verde in Maputo, while Cameroon and Rwanda face in Douala. Cape Verde qualifies if they win or draw, with Rwanda failing to win. Rwanda qualifies only if they win, coupled with Cape Verde losing. In case of Rwanda winning and Cape Verde having a draw, goal difference will determine who qualifies, as head-to-head between them is 0-0 in aggregate. Goal difference is currently Cape Verde +2 and Rwanda -2. Mozambique only qualifies if they win, coupled with Rwanda failing to win. Group G has Egypt and debutants Comoros qualified, Kenya and Togo are eliminated. Algeria and Zimbabwe qualified from Group H, and Botswana and Zambia are eliminated. Senegal confirmed their spot from Group I, as Eswatini are eliminated. Congo 8 points and Guinea-Bissau 6 points, battle for the second ticket. They lock horns in Bissau, where the hosts need a win to qualify, while just a draw is enough for Congo to go through. In Group J, Tunisia and Equatorial Guinea qualified, while Tanzania and Libya are eliminated. Cote d'Ivoire has already qualified from Group K. Niger is eliminated. Ethiopia 9 points and Madagascar 7 points, battle for second spot. Madagascar entertains Niger, while Ethiopia is away to Cote d'Ivoire. A draw is enough for Ethiopia to qualify, as they enjoy a better head-to-head result with Madagascar, who will only qualify if they win and Ethiopia lose. Finally, in Group L, Nigeria qualified, Lesotho is eliminated. Benin 7 points and Sierra Leone 4 points are still in the race. They lock horns in Freetown. A draw sees Benin through, while Sierra Leone need a win to qualify. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
Before we end this news bulletin, let's take a quick look at our main stories. The TRRC heard more testimony on how ex-President Jammeh manipulated and compromised the impartiality of the judiciary during his tenure. Not everyone wants a desk job. We heard about some young people training to be motorbike mechanics. The Gambia Police Force has issued a statement following the arrest of Kemaseng Sane, commonly known as Kex, who claimed to have been kidnapped and dumped in a cemetery. And we heard about a 5-month-old baby in need of urgent overseas treatment. In business news, a Malian delegation visited Pura today to discuss bilateral relations between the Gambia and Mali on petroleum products, among other trade initiatives. In international news, to some sports news. In football, Gambia's senior men's team coach gets the perfect present on his birthday, a 5-year contract reward for guiding the team to its maiden AFCON. As Gambian players relax and bask in the joy of qualification, we look at the teams fighting for the few remaining AFCON places. That is all we have for you in this edition of QTV News. Don't forget to join us at 10 for another bulletin. Have a great week.